The aim of the Sundowns Academy is to spot talent early, nurture that talent, and bolster the first team with the next big thing in Sundowns football. This year, that vision became real when Mocheka Modish, Mpho Matega, and Kaya Shozi were promoted to the first team, much to the delight of coach Rulani Mukwena, who worked with them in the development structures.
We are ecstatic about their development and their progress. When we look at the path that they've gone through, this is the development pathway that we try to set up within our academy, and it is very encouraging to see that the work that has been done and the seeds that were planted have come now to fruition, and it's very good to see them working hard and being part of our first team setup.
I would like to thank the Mamelodi Sundowns team and thank the coaches for believing in me, for giving me the opportunity to come to Clorkop and train with the first team.
It's a great thing for me being in the senior team, training with the experienced players, senior guys, and they help me a lot, so I'm learning from them, and I think it's good for me.
Development ngicabanga ukuthi izinto eziningi zithatha easy, so mawufika la first team yonke into kuba nzima because i-standard se-development nesa-first team asifani.
The evolution is a natural process, and from a technical perspective, we know that they have the capacity to play within the game model of the senior team, which is a game model that is technical, that wants to dominate in terms of possession. Just physically, I think that's where the adaptation process takes a little bit longer with regards to the energy systems, with regards to the physical profile of the players. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done in terms of maintaining a higher intensity, but that is a lot of work and work in progress, and we're comfortable with the evolution. We know that they've got what it takes to be part of this setup. They've earned it, they've worked hard for it, and it gives us a lot of joy to see them being part of the senior team.
Shozi has garnered lots of praise from the press and fans recently for his exploits in the MDC, but to break into Pitso's starting lineup is going to take some doing.
For Kaya, the first part of really trying to come into the senior team probably is to find comfort in the fact that he's got some very, very good players around him, top international. And once Kaya can find that comfort to say, in one moment I am competing for a place, but in another moment I am learning and I need to evolve, I need to grow, I need to become a key player for Sundowns in the future. This is what needs to happen. Instead of rushing his development, he needs to find comfort to say, I'm competing, I'm working hard, I am part of the team and I want to play, but at the same time, it is about learning, it is about growth, it is about making sure that I become a better player every single day.
Ngifunda kakhulu ukuteko egroundini, izinto azenza egroundini and nezinto azenza ngaphandle kwe-ground, so ziningi izinto engizifunda kuyena and namanye ama-player amaningi ziningi izinto engizifunda khona.
Cheesy couldn't ask for a better group of keepers to be surrounded by to help him hone his skills. He joins a keeping department that boasts 3 senior and 1 junior international.
Yeah, the intensity is high. Just need to push yourself. It's a little bit hard for me, still growing up, but I'm learning from the big guys like Taylor, Kennedy, Dennis, and them, so it's good for me.
Cheese can have no excuse if he doesn't become one of the best in the country. Cheese rubs shoulders with the best. Iron sharpens iron. In terms of trying to produce a diamond in Cheese, he needs to be in the space with other diamonds. And this is what he finds comfort also in. And for me, what has been pleasing to me is to see him create an environment for himself where he says to himself, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to train, and I'm going to do the best that I can, even though I know that I'm not going to play in the immediate future. He knows that his time will come. He's working extremely hard. It is good for me to see him grow and evolve into probably being one of the best goalkeepers in the country within his age group, really competing for a place in the under-20 national team. And that is very, very encouraging for us as a club going forward.
Another encouraging young player that joins the Sundowns defensive ranks is Mocheka Modish, a diamond in the rough that could turn out to be one of Sundowns' brightest future stars.
I remember in 2012, he was recommended by some players that I had coached in the past at different teams. And we invited him, and defensively, he was unbelievable in terms of his anticipation, his reading of the game. And technically, we had issues because he came from a different club, a different training model that didn't base its game on technical abilities in terms of playing from the back. But we were confident in what we saw in terms of the physical profile. Socially, he had the right character and showed huge leadership qualities. Technically, he really struggled in terms of bringing a shot better pass from the back to help us come into the consolidation phase. And we had to work a lot on that in the academy, and it is really pleasing in this point in time to see him come into the senior team and really fit into our game model and be able to show so much comfort on the ball. And it is really without a surprise to see him being part of the Bafana setup, being a regular part of the under-23s, being the captain of the under-20 national team, because he's got what it takes to be the future leader of Sundowns and even Bafana. He's got to stay humble, he's got to keep working hard and make sure that he continues with his evolution.
For me, coming from a development side, it's a tough thing to break through to the first team. But then in football, you have to adapt to those kind of situations. You have to be strong and work harder. I think my turn will come and I will definitely play in the team.
Rulani's coaching career has also evolved from the under-19s to becoming part of Pito's first team setup. He watches with pride as his and these young guns' evolutions collide.
When you work with these youngsters, what is of critical importance is to check for potential. For me to see these boys in 2, maybe 3 years from where we were in the academy and where we are now, it really probably doesn't surprise me because we put in a lot of work. A lot of credit needs also to go to them. They've earned their stripes. The world invests in people who invest in themselves. And part of the investment and part of the work that they did at youth level, you can see it coming out here. But it takes a little bit more time. We've got to be patient. We've got to keep working on these players. But at the same time, we encourage them to stay humble, because with humility, you get a certain voice that says to you, you are not there yet, but you know you can get there. And for us, it is encouraging because we know that the future at Mamelodi Sundowns is very bright.